The first step when replacing the LCD panel on any laptop is to make sure the laptop is not plugged in and to remove the battery. On this laptop, the battery is not present. Then remove all visible rubber screw covers on the screen assembly. Once done, go ahead and remove all the screws attaching the bezel to the top cover. On this laptop, all bezel screws are identical. Please note, some laptops will have screws on the side of the display assembly, but in this case, all screws are facing forward. Now that we removed all the screws, the bezel can be removed. Carefully pry the plastic away from the screen, starting from the top, gently wedging the fingers on the sides, moving to the bottom. Try not to apply too much force. It is possible to break off plastic tabs underneath, or to fracture the bezel. In Dell D620, the screen frame is secured to the back cover, so we will have to remove these 6 identical screws. Don't mix these screws up with the bezel screws. Once the screen frame is free to move, gently put the screen on the keyboard and proceed with removing the 4 smaller screws on one side, then remove part of the frame. Go ahead and flip the laptop to remove the other 4 smaller screws and the other part of the frame. Remember which frame part fits on which side of the screen. Disconnect the video cable by squeezing the tabs on the video connector. Disconnect the inverter power. Typically, Dell screens ship with their own inverters, and it is recommended to discard the old inverter with a screen. Discard the old panel. Most screens ship with protective film, but if your screen doesn't appear to have any, then line the keyboard with a cloth or a paper towel. Put the new screen on the keyboard and reattach the video connector minding the tabs. Then reconnect the inverter power. It is very important not to force any of the connections. All connectors are very fragile. Once all the connections are secure, line up the correct part of the removable frame and secure the 4 smaller screws. Flip the computer around and reattach the other part of the frame and replace the final 4 smaller screws. Lift the screen up and line it up with top cover mountings. Remove any protective film from the screen. Replace the 6 frame screws starting from the 2 middle ones. At this point, it is safe to test out the new screen. Go ahead and connect the AC adapter and hit power. Once the screen lights up and the startup graphics appear, you will know if the screen is properly installed and working. Hold the power button again to cancel the boot up and disconnect the AC adapter. The final step is to replace the bezel. Start from the bottom and move consistently to the top, gently snapping the plastic throughout the perimeter of the screen assembly. Replace the screws observing the proper positions. Reinstall the screw covers, and voila, you're done.